Have you ever felt just absolutely exhausted that your manifestation isn't here? Have you ever felt trapped in your current reality and just this painful longing of like when and how in the world is it going to happen? And it just felt so far away. Kind of like you were just done trying to manifest. If this has been you, then keep on watching. If your manifestation ever felt eons away, lifetimes away, just far away, painfully far, then this is exactly for you. We're going to talk about how to finally reveal your manifestation. Okay? You see, there was a time when being an online, creator and having an online business felt like a dream I couldn't access. It felt like something just completely far away, replacing my income from the corporate world and just simply doing something that felt like a faraway dream. So it is exactly that sensation and that state of feeling far away from our dreams that doesn't allow your manifestation to reveal. So it took me a long time to have the courage to really see myself doing it and really be able to imagine myself doing it and start to feel what it would be like to change my life like that. Okay? So I want to explain to you the mechanics of how all of this works. But the first thing that I'll say is that it was only when I allowed myself to see myself inside of that dream, day in and day out, that it finally came about. So I'm going to break it down, explain it to you on a more mechanical level, so in a concept level, so that you can start seeing why it's so important to not feel far away from it. The notion that you have to travel to your desire or attract it because it's far away is exactly what we're going to debunk today. So I want you to think as your dream life being the universe, okay? And you are inside the universe. In the universe, like all the possibilities exist. Your dream life, everything. Now, let's imagine that that this universe is the ocean, okay? The ocean is a quantum field. It's where all the dreams are. But you are inside of it. You are not outside of it. The minute you start thinking how or when or being anxious and just feeling trapped is the minute that you are that wave in the ocean, but you became trapped in a plastic bag. a plastic bag floating in the ocean. Okay? And that plastic bag is the separation, is the feeling of it being far away, the feeling of it's not here, I don't have it. That pain and the thinking of how and the when, and all of that is exactly why you cannot fuse with it quite. Even though you're floating in the ocean inside the plastic bag, only when that plastic bag is dissolved or removed that you're able to be one with your dream life. Okay? When the wave will finally be able to collapse into one with the ocean. Okay? So all of those fears, the anxiety, the pain and the fear, okay? Every time you move or make a decision from fear, every time you start thinking how, when, overthinking it, and getting into that primal mode, again, of fear and anxiety, it's when you're creating a barrier, okay? It's when you are putting yourself inside the plastic bag. That barrier between you and the ocean, between you and your dream life, that is exactly what authors and people call resistance. That is exactly what resistance is. Because you're not allowing the ocean to be one with you. You as a wave belong to the ocean. You belong together with it, but when you put yourself inside the plastic bag and feel trapped and all of these things, is when you cannot collapse into one with your desire. Okay? See, when I was a child, I used to daydream about living in Europe. Okay? Not about living in Europe, about living in a place that was safe and was so clean and just have this sensation of law and order and just a vibe of safety and cleanliness and all the things. And I would allow myself, or I would naturally just daydream about, living somewhere that felt like that. Okay? So I would dream about living in Sweden, and I just immersed myself in the Swedish world. I learned the language, I would see pictures all the time, chat online with people. I immersed myself into that dream and felt like I was there. Fast forward, and that manifested. I lived in Sweden for a year when I was 16 and I was an exchange student. So I also lived in Argentina, and I've lived in Canada for a long time, for 15 years. That's more than half of my life now. And the same mechanism is exactly what I used. I would just allow myself to immerse in those dreams, like to constantly be inside that dream, daydream, and get lost in it. Now, in a separate video, I'll talk about staying in that state, maintaining the frequency of the dream fulfilled, of living in the end, as Neville calls it. But what I want to say to you here in this video is that you are one with your dream life the minute you feel like You are in it. And when you remove everything in between, there's no more resistance, there's no more barrier, there's no more curtain. You can finally be one with it when you remove that resistance and that obstacle between you and it, that distance between you and your dream life. Okay? So this is where you've heard the principle of oneness, the principle of unity, the principle that we're all consciousness, and you are united with all the things in the universe. You're not separate. Why? Because you are one dot, one point in the quantum field, and you are inside of it. You are part of it. Okay? You know how the same force that makes the sun and the earth just always be there, and the earth rotate, and all of these forces in nature are the exact same force that is inside of you, making your cells multiply and keep you alive and all the things. So you are part of that universe, right? You're inside of it, and your dream life is right there with you. You just have to remove the veil to be in it. So let me know in the comments if something finally clicked. I know when I understood the concept of oneness and all of the things that I just said, like to consciously manifest things where I had resistance, like business, right? I had to understand this principle. So let me know if this resonates, and I'll see you on the next. Bye.